Hey Star Wars fans and action figure collectors, I just wanted to share with you my Black Series collection. I've finally had this all set out. In my new Star Wars room, I have so far done 9 episodes. If you haven't seen them, basically setting out my new Star Wars collection. I've been doing this over the last 2 and a bit months now. Finally got the shelving in the last couple of weeks and finally got all my Black Series set up. They have had to go over to these shelves as well. My intention is to do a full room tour once I've finished in here. Of course, it's never truly finished, but once I've got everything unpacked in a place and I'm happy. So let's get started. So I know my lighting isn't 100% perfect, but I'm going to roll with it for now. My intention is to get strip lights and put them underneath every shelf so that each shelf below it is illuminated to as maximum as I can, really. So yeah, we're going to start at the top here. Now I've gone chronological. So obviously it starts with Phantom Menace. You have to forgive any shadows that is being cast by like my hand. The lights are all behind me. There aren't any above. But yeah, starting with getting into some sort of Clone Wars, Attack of the Clones. Very much into the Clone Wars here. Great range of characters. Yeah, just wanted to do a bit of an overview to show you what I've achieved in here basically with my Black Series. So going into sort of Revenge of the Sith. That is a slightly customized Obi-Wan Kenobi I have done a video of in the past. Have added the Delta Squad in there at the back. They're just too good. I didn't want to display them elsewhere, so they're sort of crossing over into the Bad Batch. Cad Bane and the Imperial Crosshair back there. Season 2 version of Omega's not too far away. There's a nice little spot at the front there for her when she arrives. So I actually haven't done a figure count yet, so I actually haven't counted what I have in my collection, how many figures there are. And we sort of cross over, sort of getting into the dark times, the quote-unquote dark times. So we've got some Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, Cal Kestis, sort of era figures. Again, I do apologise for the lack of light. I'm hoping some point in the very near future, I'm looking forward to getting some lighting done so when I look at my toys I can see them a bit better. So we're going to sort of getting into Solo here. Star Wars Story, some great figures from that line. I don't know whether we'll see many more, but then we're getting into Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi series. To have Emphas Nest speeder bike at the back there. I'm trying to sort of just stand back enough that I'm not casting too much shadow. Yeah, those two are the most recent ones. The Jedi Legend Obi-Wan and the Spirit of Qui-Gon, as well as the Jules and Vader. Here we're getting into Star Wars Rebels territory. Again, it's slightly dark in there, but I do have the gaming greats Darth Maul. I thought he was better equipped for the Star Wars Rebels shelf. And the recently released Ezra Bridger from Lothal, based on his appearance of the hologram of the Ahsoka series. Then we're sort of crossing over into Andor. There's still a couple of figures I'm missing from Andor, but that naturally sort of bleeds over into the Rogue One collection there. So Cassian at the back there has taken a little bit of a fall, but that's okay. They don't all stand perfectly. Now, when they did all the re-releases of the main Rogue One crew, the only one I missed out on was Chirrut. So now that I've sort of got them all together, they sort of look really good. And Chirrut, I didn't think it would matter too much, but yeah, I've decided I'm going to have to swap him out. But that's all good. So coming down here, we're going straight into A New Hope. the original. I have the Cantina band at the front there. I do still need to get one more figure and Dan figure to complete the band of 7. Never did worry about that 7th member, but I'm sort of, now that I have them all on display, I'm like, okay, I've got to get a hold of them. You can sort of see the Dewback, the land speeders back there, the Dewback. Sort of all our main heroes. That Luke's a little bit of a custom. Yeah, the main 3 heroes very much overdue for updates. Luke, Han, Leia. I'd even say Ben Kenobi very much due for an update. I'd say the Luke and Han in Stormtrooper disguise wouldn't be a bad little update as well. I'm crossing over into Empire Strikes Back. There's a Tauntaun back there. I have the Minok sort of hanging up. It's sort of the Bespin related figures. Bosk has taken a fall, but I do have the Bounty Hunters there as well. Here's a custom Luke with his hand lopped off. He's just finished his duel with Vader and he's just hanging out. Skimming down to Return of the Jedi. Well, I did have these sort of spaced out a little bit more. I do have the Jabba the Hutt there, the San Diego Comic-Con one that came with Salacious Crumb, that is getting re-released, you know, almost as I record. I did have these all sort of spaced out a little bit more, but I've decided, you know what, I've got my 3 3/4 sort of Jabba's Palace. This is more just a feature on the characters and some of the other troops and stuff, so I've sort of condensed them down a little bit, just to sort of showcase the figures themselves as opposed to the scenes. But one thing I do like doing is, you know, having the main sort of jewel of each film on display. So obviously Luke, Vader, Obi-Wan Vader, Maul, Ahsoka, for most of them, not really all of them, but when I do feel like it. And yeah, Luke taking the helmet off the new 40th anniversary Vader there. The throne room, the steps and the window for the throne room, that is a SH Figure Arts thing that I've kept onto for quite a long time. At the front here we have the 4 spirits. An awesome set of figures. This sort of, we're getting into post Return of the Jedi territory here. This is sort of Mandoverse, quote unquote. So a couple of versions of the Mandalorian in here. That one's a slight tweak. That one there. I've tried to get them all sort of in order, chronological order, between sort of season 1, 2. Starts to bleed into like Book of Boba Fett. And more recently the Ahsoka series. Hoping to pick up the first other figures, Morgan Elspeth and the HK-87 droid this week. There's Black Crescent, and the back there just reviewed him, so if you want a better look at that, you can do that. Now we're getting into the sequel trilogy. So yeah, Force Awakens, starting off down here on the left, got Rey's speeder. Finn has taken a fall, he's fighting the Stormtrooper there. Arc of Han Solo is absolutely fantastic. I'm hoping they will do a General Leia and a old Luke. I'd love to see them updated from the ground up, to be honest. I think they deserve it. Whether you like the sequel trilogy or not, I would love to see some new updated versions of some of these characters. Unmasked Kylo Ren would be a great one to update. Sort of the Jakku Rey, they have been customized. I put the head from this Rey. I bought a couple of extras back when they were out. I did the head swaps and hand swaps, so they come out. They're actually looking a lot better. A few stormtroopers in the back, TIE fighter pilots. Going to the Last Jedi here, we have Finn and Phasma in the middle of a duel. Rey, got some snowtroopers for their invasion of Crate. I know it is quite dark in here, folks, so you just have to trust what I'm saying, and hopefully it is showing up a little bit. Captain Cardinal and Commander Pyre, they're sort of not directly associated with the sequel trilogy films, but Commander Pyre coming from Resistance and Captain Cardinal coming from the books. Decided to slot them in there with the troops. So, and then we're getting into Rise of Skywalker here. Severely underserved in the figure line from both scales. We can only sort of hope that gets rectified at some point, but doesn't seem likely with the steady torrent of media that is coming out. They like to sort of keep up to date. There are a sort of custom Sith Eternal Palpatine, and I think I've got 20 Sith Troopers, and 2 Sith Jet Troopers. But yeah, severely underserved. Rise of Skywalker. It's not my favourite of the 3, but definitely could do with some more characters. Finn, Poe, some of the main characters from the film. I find that toys are always a gateway into, having an attachment to the characters in the films, and being able to have those toys in hand. Alright, so I'm just going to come up again because we're getting into sort of the comics. Again, it is dark. I do apologise, folks. I have tried to illuminate this as much as possible. But yeah, sort of comics, video games, expanded universe. There is a Hondo back there. Yeah, it's easier to see with the naked eye than it is with a camera, but yeah, some of these Sith figures, Malgus, Malak, they are super duper incredible. Even Mara Jade is one that really wowed me, surprised me. And then below here, couldn't fit this in with my sequel trilogy shelf, so I wanted to have this set up. I did have this sort of scene set up in my old room, in my old house, and wanted to replicate this. We'll be getting a replacement red backdrop, and yeah, definitely going to get some lights just to set this thing off a little bit. Custom Snoke, thanks to buddy Darth Muzzer. You'll know him on YouTube. He sent me that one a couple of years ago for me to slice and dice. I do need to finish that one off and touch up the fill that all in and paint it up a little bit, just so it looks like his wounds are cauterized. So yeah, got a couple of shelves of Black Series there, and then coming back, that is the rest of it. Really happy to have these out on display again. It's nice to have minimal tubs on the floor. I have started putting up a couple of my carded ones that I want to keep in the box. But yeah, definitely looking forward to giving some lighting. That is probably one of the next big jobs. Be on that very, very soon. So I appreciate you all joining and checking it out. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll see you for some more videos very, very soon. I know I'm very, very close to hitting 5,000 subs, so I'm pumped about that. It's only a few away, so if you haven't subscribed, please join in, come and hang out in the fun, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Till then, may the Force be with you always.